Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included in the Ultimate Base 2.0. In the previous episode we improved a little bit on the living situation of Marie, so she isn't as stressed anymore. And then we collectively decided it is time to set up a double aluminium volcano tamer. And I have to say, I just love the idea of it. Now, I'm not sure if we will be completely ready to build it in today's episode, since it will require a little bit of preparation, but I'm gonna do my best to get as far as possible. For now, I want to make sure the salt water accumulates somewhere where I can deal with it a little bit easier, so I want all of this to move over somehow and combine with the other pools. And then we can start on digging downwards a little bit in order to actually take care of those volcanoes. The problem is to get them in the initial vacuum. But yeah, I guess with that out of the way, we can just let Marie do her thing. What we also need to do is change up our rocket, since we are gonna need to bring some liquids over for the contraption. Now I wonder, should we just build a second rocket for this? I might actually do that. So let's swap this rover module to be a battery module instead. Gonna build this, and then we want to add another module that is going to be a liquid cargo tank. We want to bring over some oil that we can use as an initial layer of cooling. And then obviously, last but not least, we also need a nose cone that we can build here. Another thing we can briefly do is actually grab the oil from all the way here at the bottom. Now, how do we easily bring this all the way up to the rocket? I already have this gas pipe here. I think I might also do the same thing with a liquid pipe. So we're gonna get in there and build that. This means I wanna bring the oil over probably at this point. If we just go straight up here, I mean, the oil line itself is gonna be temporary, but we're gonna keep the pipes in place in case I ever want to ship over another liquid using the rockets. Looks like we have to do the same detour here, but then we're gonna go straight up and connect this. Wonderful, that should already work out. We can then continue our endeavors at this point and bring up the oil to wherever we need. Alrighty, we've made some progress here on Growista with the salt water. We will still have to make our way down to the volcanoes. I already assembled another rocket with a liquid cargo tank, and if we have a look here at the interior, I already built everything that's necessary to actually get this to function. We have this liquid cargo tank, and I believe within plumbing we should be finding the liquid rocket port loader that we have to place adjacent to the rocket. So this thing eventually is going to go right here. However, I would like to make the rockets a little bit more accessible. So I think approximately over here, I would like to see a transit tube access point. We're then going to go ahead, bring over the transit tube, bring it up there and join it with our access point. We're going to need a couple of ladders to access this as well. And then a couple of ladders to actually get over to the rockets. This way here is not going to be accessible anymore because I need to place this on top of a platform. So what we probably want to do is expand the wires this way. Actually, hold on, this needs to be right here and there. So now I can build a joint plate and I will be able to exchange this cabling here with a normal block, I would say. And since I'm already at it, I'm gonna reroute the cabling here slightly. We're also gonna build this all the way over to give power to the transit tube point. In Growista itself, we're also gonna need a way to extract the oil. So in this case, we wanna build a liquid rocket port unloader. That means we're gonna need some refined material. I'm actually gonna need a whole bunch of it. So let's just go ahead and do some metal crushing with Marie. In the meantime, on Smeliol, Otto still has lots and lots to do, so I think we can leave him be for now. Wow, check this out, Marie is really determined. You also let me know why this bedroom isn't working, and the reason for that is it needs to be 4 high. It is also mentioned here in the tooltip, minimum height 4 tiles. So yeah, my bad, and we can get another morale point for this. I moved my auto dispenser a little bit so that we have the space for a liquid rock port unloader. Looks like this guy is a little bit higher than the other one, but we should be able to place it right there. Then we're gonna take a couple of liquid pipes and we already start bringing it downstairs. Let's hook up the pipe to this spot for now, and then we'll see if we need anything else. Alright, I ran into a little bit of an issue because we have no food on Growista or Smeliol and we were not producing the barbecue quick enough. I might actually have to go with a second cook. Anyways, I decided to also ship over some meat in order to get by. However, it just became a little bit more complicated on Growista because this little polluted piece of dirt off-gassed my water source over to the right. So we have to deconstruct the chute, then replace this with a tile in the hopes of pushing the water back over. As you can see, I already have a rocket with some food on its merry way to Grovista. Also, there has been an update. As you can see on the star map, we now have multiple locations we can go to with intriguing points of interest. So I will definitely start to explore that as well. Maybe we can even get some resources from there. That would be amazing. I think Frankie is gonna arrive any moment. Yeah, there we go. We want to make sure everyone has access to the interior here, and we're also gonna drop the meat. Now all we have to do is make sure he ships it over. I think he already did it. And he actually first brought it to this ration box. This might not even be the worst of scenarios. Wonderful, barbecue is gone. That means we're gonna send the rocket right back, and Frankie is not gonna have to worry too much. There we go, wonderful. And then we can also go ahead and drop the meat again. We're gonna go ahead and sweep this up as well, and then everything should be going back into my storage there. There we go, barbecue already arrived. Everything survived, I believe. And now she's going for the meat as well. Wonderful. I'm gonna increase the priority for the bedroom a little bit, since that is gonna be important in order to reduce her stress. And if we can, we want to do this in today's cycle. So all of this has to go. Gonna put back my flower pot here as well. And then all we need is that bed here. Okay, I believe we saved our duplicants, at least for now. But the food is something I need to keep a better eye on. That was really too much of a close call. Let's finish the piping here for the oil. I think everything else has been done at this point. We can go ahead and connect this, see how much oil we can actually load up into one rocket. And yeah, I guess we still have to build a lot in Grovista before we can get this project started. So we are definitely going to do it in the next episode. But I mean, all the preparations also have to count for something. Alright, so we have a little bit of a problem. Apparently the update also changed that a vacuum counts as frozen. Therefore, we lost all of our food. So now, not only I have to have it in sterile atmosphere, but it also has to be refrigerated. I'm generally fine with it. What I'm not fine with is that I didn't realize that for a couple of cycles, and therefore we are in deep trouble right now. If we check Grovista's food, this is already stale 15%. I hope she can still eat it at the cost of maybe getting food poisoning. And then on Smeliol, we're still fine, but it is getting worse. So I already started changing the setup here. I just made it one tile higher, set up a refrigerator and powered it. It is still in a vacuum, let's see how it works. We have to do the same thing here for O2. We're gonna deconstruct this tile, set up a refrigerator, and then I have to make my way up here. I mean, it wouldn't be such an issue if we weren't under time pressure right now. I want to make sure the refrigerator is set to priority 9. I'm also going to set up a whole bunch of refrigerators here at the bottom. This is only going to be a temporary setup, so we can hopefully save as much food as possible. Okay, looks like we can't quite complete it, but almost. My barbecue is at 9% before it actually rots away. Right now I don't really have a lot of barbecue, so I think we're gonna send over the swamp chard heart as an emergency. Edible, give me all the swamp chard hearts. There we go. Frank is going over with the emergency food, and then hopefully we can at least save her. Ah, look at this. They actually changed the animation of the start to make it a bit more realistic. Okay, now in here we're gonna keep some barbecue. Is there any other food we have? Nutrient bars. I guess we take what we can get. Okay, this might be more of a problem than I anticipated. We already cooled this down to 2 degrees. But we're still losing 5% per cycle. This is an absolute nightmare in the middle of a gameplay. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure how I want to deal with this. We have to compost this as quickly as possible, otherwise it's gonna off-gas polluted oxygen, and that would be even more horrible. Okay, at least my rocket already arrived. Let's make sure Frankie drops the suit. And then what I would like to see is the swamp chard heart in the refrigerator. And Marie should also be capable of eating it, even though it's not that good. Better than starving, I presume. There we go. Frankie already picked them up. I think I'm just gonna drop them on the floor here. We're gonna switch to crew here again and fly back. So now Marie should be surviving until this is over. Guys, I have to say, this is really bad news. At 2 degrees, minus 5% per cycle. And then if we check out one of these, we have minus 13 degrees. And it goes down by minus 3 per cycle. So we actually have to keep this insanely cool. Man, this is so disappointing and also slightly annoying, I have to admit. I really wanted to tend to the volcanoes today, but looks like it's gonna be another food saving situation. Okay, I know what we're gonna do. Temporarily, we're gonna let Otto and Marie live off meal lice. This is easy food to grow and I have plenty of dirt on both planetoids. We're gonna do the same thing over here for Marie, just need to remove the pump to build the rest. And then on the main base we start experimenting around with a couple of things. I'm probably gonna get rid of that refrigerator again, and we want to explore a couple of other possibilities. I would like to build myself a thermal aqua tuner in the middle of this ice biome. We still have around -10 to -16 degrees, so let's make our way over here. We're also gonna go ahead and hook this up right away. We're gonna add a couple of pipes, take a turn here, and then bypass in case the liquid is cool enough. We bridge over to here, and then we want to do a loop to our food. So this goes up and over. We're going all the way down at this point, and then we want to possibly bridge over. We want to have a radiant pipe, gonna make this out of steel right there, and then somehow we need to make our way back. I just realized I need to build most of these out of igneous rock, otherwise we're gonna lose the chill of the aqua tuner. Also gonna need a liquid pipe thermosensor and a little bit of cabling. Now doing this for all the other planetoids is gonna be a bit of a chore, I have to say. I'm not sure I really like that change. I guess it's fair, but I wanted to do something else today. Okay, I guess back to mealwood seed we go. It's quite depressing. Man, this is honestly the most brutal thing I've had to endure thus far. We are losing right now. 198,000 kilocalories left, and most of that is meal lice about to rot as well. Yeah, some of that is already stale. But yeah, essentially I allowed meal lice again. We have rebuilt the conveyor chute system. Now I actually have to fill this up with some chlorine. I mean, we have a layer of chlorine here. It wouldn't be too hard. So yeah, I think what I have to do is store my food right here for the time being at the bottom of the base until we have this resolved. I'm gonna get rid of the conveyor chute once again, and then we're gonna replace it with a vent. I'm gonna bring some chlorine here from the bottom up. Just have to hop over to here. Actually, let's make the bridge here at the bottom and fill up a vent just like that. We're then gonna have a gas pump as well as a filter. One output goes into this direction, and the output we want is gonna be the chlorine. Make sure this got some power, and that should be all we need. Maybe we also set up a little switch. There are my mealwood seeds right there. Go ahead and get this planted. And generally, I think I'm gonna give this priority 7, and this is hopefully gonna buy us enough time. I'm also gonna bring up some ethanol because we can get this fairly low in temperature, 114 degrees deep freeze. We should actually check. Chlorine, how cold can you get? Oh no, this cannot nearly get cold enough. Maybe we should go with hydrogen. Yeah, so I might not even need that system if we go with hydrogen. Because if we go with hydrogen, all I have to do is bring this down here. I mean, that's much easier. Anyways, I want to borrow some ethanol for my cooling loop. Ah man, I will have to remove this afterwards again. It's always such a chore. I'm taking a rather complicated path, but there we go. Let me think about the cooling loop. Do I want to do it this way? I mean, I guess it's not gonna hold forever since I'm sucking out the chill of the biome rather quickly this way. So I'm just gonna fill up the cooling loop and we see what happens. I just noticed obviously we also have to exchange the liquid we have here. This needs to be methanol and not water. That means we can open this up, and I guess we also want to exchange these two metal tiles. We don't want the chill we create here to escape, really. So yeah, right now I'm taking away a good portion of it, exchanging some of the tiles here. Alright, we're actually almost done here. I'm gonna set up some ethanol here to keep the gases inside. I'm then going to fill this up with hydrogen that we should be getting from here. Yeah, this is almost ready. Once there are 2 kilograms or more of hydrogen in the tile, I will then replace the chute again, build it here. And then we're also gonna start the aqua tuner loop up. So I want to set this to a fairly low temperature and see what we actually require to get a deep frozen state. And yeah, for that we still have to build the pipe that actually brings up the ethanol. So I'm gonna be right back. Alright, we're almost done with our evil plan. As you can see, I'm just filling up the ethanol loop. I decided to add a liquid reservoir somewhere in the center, just in front of the aqua tuner. So from the liquid reservoir, it goes into the aqua tuner, it's cooling down or not, and then it goes all the way back here to my food, and just with one radiant pipe, I'm cooling down the hydrogen that's here, and this is now also a ethanol liquid log. I accidentally poured in a little bit too much hydrogen, 15 kilograms, but as long as we don't have to open this up anymore, we should be good. Now all we have to make sure is we can get the ethanol loop to run, and then we can set a exact temperature in order to determine how cold it needs to be. So for now I'm gonna set this to minus 15 degrees, and we're gonna start with that and then make the temperature colder gradually. But first I want to store up a little bit of ethanol here in the reservoir. Actually, thinking about it, the reservoir should be after the aqua tuner. Yeah, sure, that makes more sense. So we would want to fill up the reservoir with this pipe. I guess in this case, let's remove the bridges again, and we're gonna rearrange this slightly. It's actually even easier this way. We come in like so and go out like this. And I guess at this point we actually want to set up a bridge so we can move past the first pipe. Okay, that makes more sense now. So all we have to do is hook up the system and let it run. There it goes through the aqua tuner the first time. Wonderful. And back into the liquid reservoir. I severed this connection so I can fill it up first. And then we're finally gonna start deep freezing our food. There we go, 2.5 tons is probably more than enough. We're gonna reconnect this again and let the ethanol complete the loop. Now theoretically this should become a lot colder, but it might take a little bit too long because of the ethanol we have hanging around here. So maybe just to be slightly more efficient, I'm gonna go ahead and actually add another radiant pipe here. Okay, temperature is going down slowly, but it is definitely going down. You can see this is already 8 degrees and it's lowering quite quickly. The aqua tuner is also keeping up, everything is still more or less cold. So now we only need to wait for this to actually become deep frozen. And then we'll have to do something similar for Otto and Marie. If we don't do that, we have to deal with the stale food all the freaking time. And I really don't like the change, I have to admit. But if we at least get it deep frozen for our main planetoid, we can still store an infinite amount of food. Okay, we have reached the terminal temperature. With the delay and everything, we go down to approximately minus 20 degrees. The temperature of the hydrogen is 12 degrees at the moment, and minus 17 degrees for the ethanol. Now the biggest problem about the system is of course the leakage. We're gonna lose a lot of the chill due to poor insulation. I don't think we can set up another block here, that would be perfect. But I don't think at this point we will be able to reach them anymore. Yeah, there we go. I wanted to put it to the test, but it is unreachable now. So this guy will have to go. Okay, we have almost reached the 4 degrees temperature, which I believe counts as refrigerated. That would already be a huge improvement. Can we actually see? Yeah, look at that. Exactly at 4 degrees, the unrefrigerated tooltip disappeared. So now we're just gonna keep on cooling this down until it counts as deep frozen. And that's exactly when I'm gonna tune back in with you. Alright, not bad. We actually went into the deep freeze state, which means 0 change per cycle. This was already achieved at around minus 16 degrees. It did go down. No, this is actually a fresh batch of meat. But I mean, we can observe it now. It already changed to deep freeze at this point. So that's all we really need. Minus 16 degrees on the aqua tuner that's responsible to cool down the food. And then we can keep it forever again. We don't even need to store it in these fridges anymore. Yeah, I guess I can take these apart again. So a little bit of hydrogen and minus 16 degrees and you can store your food indefinitely once again. But yeah, that did cost me precious time that I wanted to use for a volcano tamer. I guess we can still do that the next time. I'm probably just gonna leave it be with the meal lice for a couple of cycles. And then when I accumulated some more food on the main planetoid, we can think about a deep freeze system for the other 2 planetoids as well. Also, in order to wrap up this episode in dignity and so that we can do the dual volcano tamer the next time, we need to get this prepared. The first step is going to be to actually dig all the way down and build a layer of igneous rock insulated tiles. I want 1 layer in between the 2 volcanoes. It is 24 in width, so we will have to make a 2 wide gap right there. So we're actually going to have a little area for the liquid to accumulate. Actually, we don't even need this much. Still, let's build it 1 more block down and then there's gonna be the next level. Right here at the bottom, I want a good amount of oil. But yeah, I guess we're gonna get into the functionality of this the next time. I just wanna see this planned out. Right here at the bottom would be my first steam room and then my second steam room. No, actually, wait, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, we have to drop it much farther. So 3 tiles for the steam turbine, and then below that we're gonna have our steam room, something along these lines. So the liquid is gonna drop up to this point, and then we just divide up the room again. Yeah, I can kind of see this working. In order to build it, we are gonna leave some gaps open. And then I guess we want to round everything up with another layer on top of this that encases the entire contraption. In order to get in there, we're gonna ladder this up with obsidian ladders, and then I guess we can come down from this position. So I think I might want to sweep things up here. We can then go ahead and dig all the way down, dig over there, and dig over there. Wonderful. Actually, I'm kind of missing a liquid lock entrance that I'm gonna place right here. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a good idea to do so. Cool, so now we can go ahead and finish this for the next episode, and we will have our aluminium volcano cooler solution in no time. One thing that I noticed is we don't have the space for an auto sweeper. This is slightly concerning because of my symmetry. You know, we could make the steam turbine rooms a little bit smaller, and this would allow us to place an auto sweeper somewhere here. We're then gonna need a cooling solution for the steam turbine as well as the auto sweeper. I guess we'll think about that the next time. I don't want to take away too much from the next episode, otherwise that wouldn't make sense. But yeah, wonderful. At least now on the main planetoid we can keep the food cool again. What we still have to do is make a more permanent setup for the aqua tuner. We can actually do that in conjunction with cooling down the oxygen. So we're gonna have 2 aqua tuners, one for the oxygen and generally to cool down the base, and then another one especially for the frozen food. We might even want to do that in today's episode since it's generally gonna be very easy. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm actually gonna do that. Give me a little bit of time to rearrange a couple of things here. And it is a couple of cycles later. As you can see, I freed up some space. I already made a vacuumed room. That is going to be our dedicated steam room. I have crafted enough materials for 2 aqua tuners, one of which is going to go here. And I guess the other one can go there. We're going to need 2 liquid pipe thermosensors. The bottle emptier is in the way. Let's move this guy over a little bit. The first aqua tuner is going to replace the aqua tuner here on the top that is taking care of the food. I already brought the piping down, not sure if I'm gonna need that. Let's assume we're gonna come in from the top, go into the aqua tuner and then out again. If it's cold enough, we want to bypass it right there, and then I guess at this spot we can join up together with a bridge. So theoretically we could do it on this level. That might even be the desired method. Then I also would like to move my liquid reservoir setup over here. We're gonna have the space for 2 of these. And naturally I want to make good use of it. So maybe let's even move it down and come in from this side. This way I can do a better setup for the second liquid reservoir that is gonna cool down the oxygen. The reason of course for the reservoir is so that we can be more precise with the temperatures. We're gonna do something similar for the other side. We're gonna come in from the sensor this way and then we exit through the bottom probably. Yeah, actually we could just go ahead and do something like this. We also come down here and bypass it. In order to do this properly, we're gonna set up a bridge here and here. We're gonna go through here. And I guess that means we wanna keep the other loop on the top. So now we could bridge up here in order to get into the second liquid reservoir that is gonna be here. And then this would be the output of the reservoir. So we wanna exchange that with a bridge as well. And then from the output, we come down and we will be cooling down all of this. And then technically we want to make our way back to the aqua tuner, but this is going to be a messy thing. Yeah, let me reroute everything and switch the aqua tuners. Maybe that is going to help. So this aqua tuner's output goes into the second reservoir and this output goes into the first. We're then taking the output right here, go through the cooling loop, and right here we're gonna come out and rejoin the pipe. So in order to get up there, we're gonna set up a bridge from the second liquid reservoir output that goes into the loop, and this needs to go into the aqua tuner. Okay, admittedly this is a little bit trickier than I first anticipated. Let's try something like that. And then I guess we could set up a bridge right there. In order to get down here, set up another bridge like so. And then we can go all the way beneath here into the center and the second aqua tuner. Okay, this might actually just work. Let's just make sure we don't forget the important wiring. And we're also going to need lots of conductive wires. But looks like that is going to be our dual thermo aqua tuner setup for now. I'm also gonna go ahead and set up a steam turbine here. I'm gonna leave the space for another one if we potentially need one. And we should not forget about the piping here. This is very important. I don't want this pipe. I want to go straight through here. Otherwise there's gonna be too much heat exchange with the liquid bridge. Okay, it is slowly but surely coming along. I still need to build a couple of things and get rid of all the resources on the ground. And then when I have enough water in this room and we can get things started, I'm gonna be right back. Alrighty, I think we did it. As you can see, I dug out some more of the terrain. We now also have a dry wall behind this. The thermal aqua tuners are running and they will not have to run all the time. As a matter of fact, they will stand still more than they will run. But as you can see, I filled up the loop in order to cool down the oxygen with water. I simply took it from over here and I filled up the other loop with the ethanol we already had in the loop before that when it was going here. So now both of these loops are running. The water loop I set to 15 degrees, so it's always going to be close to that number. And the ethanol loop I set to minus 25 degrees to have some more leeway. But yeah, that's essentially it. Food is fixed again, at least in the main base. We will have to think about how to implement that on the other planetoids. But yeah, I would say with this additional contraption, we at least can wrap it up in good conscience. And then hopefully the next time we will be able to focus on that dual volcano tamer. But with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.